Helen Abed,
What up?
Esmira,
Hey.
Samhar.
Hello.
So as you all know, we heard some horrible news last week, March 31st. Our beloved Nipsey Hussle passed away. He was involved in a tragic shooting in South Central LA, Crenshaw. Nipsey Hussle was 33. He is survived by an Eritrean father, an African American mother. He has a brother named Samuel Asghedom and a partner named Lauren London, and he has 2 kids. He also has a sister. It's funny because he really touched a lot of people, celebrities, common people. He was really a good man, family man. Even went to his father's homeland twice, maybe even more than that.
I think 2004 and 2018. He went last year, right?
Okay, so he might have gone 3 times then. 2004, 2009, and 2019. 18. Anywho, I mean, he was one of those that didn't want to leave he came from a very gang-related background. He tried to do some good and opened a store where he was from, Crenshaw, south of LA. Is it south of LA?
South Central LA.
South Central LA.
He ended up opening more businesses in that block.
Well, he bought the block.
He bought the whole block. Yeah.
Was it the whole block or the strip center where he?
Yeah,
It was a strip
block.
center. Yeah. He took pride in it. He's always wanted to give back to his community, and he was just one of those people that really didn't take fame and kind of let it take him to a different location with people that were like him. He went back and gave back.
And also, this is, his album just came out, Grammy nominated. This is the beginning of his.
Yeah, he was Grammy nominated. He's worked so hard. This album took him maybe 10 years. He's always done mixtapes, and this
Victory Lap was his studio album.
Okay.
So he didn't just like create it and then put it out. It was mastered, and it was actually a studio album.
Okay.
So that was the difference, is that he had lots of music that was put out, but this was a studio album. It was a lot different than his mixtapes, right? Those are 2 different things. So, and his first studio album was nominated for a Grammy. So there was so much potential for where he could have gone, But I think that it's amazing that even though that was his first studio album, he still had a lot of music that he put out within that time, which was amazing, you know what I mean? Because there's like still a large body of work that people can still reflect on and listen to and enjoy and learn from as well too. I think the thing that was so unique about Nipsey is that, his lyrics just really had substance. It's a lot of music out here. I feel like, especially like some of us older people who have come from hip hop that had some sort of
message,
lyrical content,
that's so true.
that we're losing that today. It's like
really
we
are.
can jam to some of the stuff that's out there, but we just can't really connect because it's just like, it's literally when you are sober and not in a club atmosphere drinking, you be like, what am I listening to?
Yeah.
Right?
Even as a parent, just coming from a hip hop generation that had a message, listening to this stuff is like, I want to connect because I am a part of the hip hop culture, and my son is now a teenager, and I'm just like, oh my God, the message that they're giving my son. It's like the message we got from hip hop from back in the day. I mean, I get it was more materialistic, but there was also some substance to it too. It did teach us like you gotta hustle, you gotta work hard, get to it. But nowadays it's just all about women and doing drugs, and it's just.
Well, let's be for real for a moment.
Yeah.
Like, the music back then was the same thing as well.
It wasn't about using drugs,
I
about
think
selling drugs. It wasn't about you. Back then it was taboo to use drugs. Now it's all about I use drugs.
Okay, regardless,
that's the difference.
That's a good point.
You want to be in the realm of the drug.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think the difference is, I mean, there are obviously some similarities because people talk about life, and life has changed, but there hasn't been this drastic change in the type of life that people live, right? So it doesn't matter in, you know, even whether it was then or now, like drugs and all that stuff still is prevalent. But I feel like there was much more of a message, you know what I mean, in the music that was around prior to what's happening now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
but
music right now is like, I'm sorry, like some of the stuff you can't even understand the lyrics. It's more about the beat than what you're saying.
I don't even listen to music.
That, like
2000.
in the 90s or in wherever era we're referencing back to, there wasn't music like that either.
But it was
Like the songs are like, I don't jam with this, but this beat is hot.
But nowadays,
People know their hip hop history. There's a lot of people who freaking say, who is Biggie? Who is, you know?
Little Yachty said he was
Yes.
bigger than Biggie, or he thought he was bigger than Biggie. And,
they have that.
Pac.
That's
No,
the
I
thing
think
about
that's Kodak
Nipsey.
Black.
Nipsey.
No, Little Yachty.
Kodak Black said that too. He said,
Yeah.
I'm bigger than
they don't. They don't.
What?
He knew his history of hip hop. He could talk about when you listen to his interviews, and I did my research just for the show, and just listening to his interviews, like he knows hip hop. He's done his research.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying that there's plenty of artists in whatever genre.
Not
whatever-
plenty.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can't
key.
say
That's the key
Yeah.
here. Is it's not that there's
Plenty of
a
artists in
lack of.
there's plenty of artists in every genre that will give you different
Okay,
shit.
name some.
That will give me different stuff.
No, and
What we're talking about hip
when we
hop.
used, when we used to listen to music,
actually
what
have
artists?
content.
That was not about bullshit. What about like Mystical? What about people like that? Is that not?
Ooh.
Is that not like?
Have you heard Mystical's words? They were pretty alright.
At least I knew what the hell he was saying.
You know what Mystical was saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Shake
Well,
your
Mystical,
ass. You know what you got.
And then what else? What else?
And then what else? Who else? You're naming
You
one
named
out of
like,
how
yeah.
many rappers?
Majority
I know, but okay, but because I'm putting the spot right now, but the reality, but I'm just saying.
You
but
know
let's be
why?
real.
though? You can't come to mind because
All
it
I'm
ain't
saying
there.
is, like, let's be for real.
Old heads up in here, honey.
No,
Don't-
because the
don't do
reality
that.
is every generation will look back at the generation before them and say, y'all listen to this crappy music, and people,
And you know what? That generation in the 90s, they gave homage to the people back. DM Run, whatever the hell their
Run
names are.
DMC.
Yes, they gave homage. They never talked
There's
shit
a lot
about
of
them.
like
They
there was
did.
a lot of sampling from like back in the day.
Yeah,
that happened
they
because
respected
there was a lot
hip-hop.
of
And OGs.
homage. Like there was respect paid to like
Yes.
music that came before them.
And
as well,
that's
too.
what pisses
And there's
people-
some of that happening
I'm just
now
saying,
too.
there are people that do
There
it.
are
I think
some.
I think
Yeah.
the reality
but
is
it's about mainstream, right? When we think,
but 90s hip hop was not mainstream at the
no,
time.
no,
of
no.
90s
But
hip-hop.
when we think about what's mainstream right now, right? What is popular or
Okay.
pop, right? Because
Uh-huh.
pop, you know, when we say
Hip-hop
pop
is popular
is
music.
popular. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like what's popular. It's like what is popular. You know, back then, you know, the music that was put out there, the popular music that was hip hop, was good music. Not all of it. There's
to
always
you and to our generation. But
There's
talk to
always-
people who are above this or before the generation, before us, and talk to the people in the 80s about, no, you know what? What are they saying? We don't know what they're saying. That's a reality. I'm saying
they
every
knew what they were saying. That's the
How
key.
can you not?
They knew that they could
were
understand
clear
the
as daylight.
lyrics.
I
Is
think
what
to,
I'm
to
saying.
you, to
No,
you.
no, no. Not. I'm not saying perception or
I think we're getting off
understanding.
subject.
But what I'm
We really are,
saying is,
because this could be like,
No, I
no, it's
no,
not
but
about. I know what you're saying. You're saying like
But
they may
everything-
not relate, but they understood the words. We can't even understand some of the words that are
But
being
that's
said.
because you don't listen to
What I
I
think
do
the
listen to that.
conversation
Bring
is,
in-
I
bring
think the
in, like,
conversation
I
is
try.
8 out of 10 rappers nowadays don't talk about shit. That's
There's
the
no
conversation.
That's just a
Substance.
that's
There's
no
no
substance. How do you figure? But you don't
Just
listen to
because-
shit. I don't
I do.
Because
I do.
I listen to a bit, a
I
little bit.
listen-
of
I
it.
listen-
We
I
listened
listened
to
to
Nipsey
it.
Hussle today.
I
You guys,
listened
we
to
like,
it.
how long ago did you guys download this album?
She just said she listens to it.
No, we're talking about Nipsey Hussle.
I'm listening
or
to
J. Cole.
Yeah, I listen.
I don't listen to
I
shit.
listen. I do.
Okay, so that's what
I
I'm
listen to
saying.
J. Cole all the time.
When did you download this Nipsey Hussle album, Victory Lap?
I
know.
listen to certain songs.
That's what I'm saying. That's the reality.
I
I'm
bought
just saying,
all the things that I
the
like.
reality is the generation we don't belong in this generation of music. We don't. That's not. They're not talking to us. They're not for us. They're not whatever. They're not. This is not for us.
But that's the
It doesn't
point.
matter.
Why? What's the point?
The point is, it's not about is it for us, right? We're having a bigger conversation. We're like from the outside looking into things, right?
What is music?
And it's not
What is
saying
art?
that
What's
the
art?
people that came before us didn't have
we art.
a right or have some kind of message or understanding of what they were saying. I'm not discrediting what they said. What I'm saying is there's always wisdom from people who come before you.
Of
right?
course.
Number one. Number
Yes.
two is you're saying we may not relate to it, but the thing that's absolutely sad is that the people who are relating to it, that is not what we want our kids or people who are listening to this because
You sound like my dad when I was listening in the radio with him. He'd be like, "Oh, what is this?
Okay, what-
Ja Rule crap. What the hell is he talking
Ja
about?"
Rule is good. Okay.
Ja Rule ain't talking about nothing but holla holla, girl.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what,
that good
is that not my point? That's like turn up this crap. What is he talking
Well,
about?
that's different.
Or Nelly or anyone. P did anyone. They're like, what is this you're listening to? I don't even know what one word they're saying. Even Twista. I'm
We're
talking
not
about
the same.
2000.
You talk about your dad and versus
Yeah.
us.
Why
That's
not?
wrong. Your dad has no.
Yeah.
He don't even listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
Period.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
You can't
It
say
absolutely
that.
does.
No, it does not. I'm saying to you, this generation today, they're
You
not
just-
for you. They're not talking to you. So that's why you're never gonna
But
understand.
that's
what the
sad
hell
that
they're talking
that is what our generation is listening to. And
Why?
that's what you're
That's the beauty of music. Music, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you
No.
don't. And if it's not made for you, it ain't made for you.
It's not about getting it.
If
At the
I
end of
listen
the
to-
day, when you
We as older people do not
You're not
need
that
to
old.
worry. Older.
Well, you're not that
Older people do not need to I don't know, worry about what this next
It's
generation.
not about
is doing. I
age.
think
It's about the hip hop generation. We come from
yeah.
it. So we
No, we come from a different generation.
Run DMC back in the day. All those people back in the day.
Can you spit a Run DMC line? No, that's not our generation.
Yeah, but we gave them respect for creating hip hop and all that
But
stuff.
what do you
we
think J.
still got
Cole
their
and
lines.
do? What do you think Nipsey does to Masterpiece?
Nipsey does.
I'm
We're
saying
talking about
that's
the younger generation.
That's
Nipsey's
generational.
33. He's from
But
our
that's a great
generation.
transition of it's like you're not the same as like Run DMC, but you're still a positive influence on what people are listening to. You still have lyrical
Tupac would have
content.
been 50
You are
right now.
still
You're in your
using
30s.
your
You still get
platform
his message,
to
right? I
deliver
think-
something real. You get what I'm saying? Like
Comment to somebody they don't listen to. So I
it's
think
not
that's
about that. It's
yeah.
just about being conscious.
If you're gonna be in the music
Yeah, but-
industry, you need to understand. If you're gonna be in the hip hop industry, know hip hop.
But at the end of the day, though, a lot of these cats
You gotta
out
know
here
hip-hop.
are not
I don't
caring
care if
about
you gotta
lyrics.
know who
paved
But they're
your
not
way.
here for lyrics. They're
That's
not
the
here for it. They're
problem.
trying to make money. That's what it is.
Okay,
Some
that's
people out
what
there.
I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what they're there
different,
for.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I think sometimes we take society, whoever hip hop
Yeah.
fans take like, oh, you're a rapper, you gotta be lyrically right or whatever. Some
gotta
people
be
don't
a
get
one
it.
hit wonder.
But you know what I love that Nipsey said though is since we're talking about Nipsey
Get out
though
there,
yeah.
is I love that he said he was talking about just like reaching success or whatnot. And he said it's so important that there's so many ways that you can reach success, but at the end of the day you got to live with the decisions that you make and the stuff that you put out there and how you got to wherever you got. So obviously people can just do things because it sounds good or it sells or that's what people want to, what they think people want to hear or what our labels want us to put out there. But, at the end of the day, you need to stay, me personally, this is what I think, and I really resonated with what Nipsey said. He's like, at the end of the day, it's like, I want to make sure how I get there is something that I could be proud of. Because at the end of the day, like, I can get to this result, but everyone's always going to look at how you got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, yeah, you can say, oh, it sells, or this is what my record label wants, or this is what music is supposed to be.
You can get there in a grind.
However, it's bigger than that, right? It's like there's certain people, even whether it's a record label, they want you to put out this music and message that hurts your people. Like, is that what you want to be part of? Like, do you want to stand for something and have a message that's positive? You have a platform to do bigger and greater things. Like, why not use your platform for something better than that?
But
I get it. Music is great, the beat is great, but absolutely
People
everybody
grow.
goes through their
Not everybody is at that-
absolutely.
Yeah, so-
But you let people grow, but you can't sit up here on the sideline and be like, it's cool. Oh, that's
Nobody's
the way.
saying that.
No,
You-
she
you
said
mess with it, you don't listen.
that that's other people, younger people.
Yeah,
no, that's not what. No,
Girl.
that's not what you want younger people to use as their soundtrack to growing up.
You can't.
Why?
The
You
thing
can't,
that
you can't
made
manipulate that shit. That's for them to deal with. And when
we're
you
in a fucked up society.
you're
y'all.
not so bad. And then what you do
Can
is
I
when
say
you grow
something?
up, you learn, you do better.
Can
and
I
not
say
everybody
something?
does. Well, then
People
that's
are
what
very
happens.
impressionable. You guys,
Well,
you can.
Then that's what
You talk about it. You talk about it, and you tell people, "Hey, this isn't right." It's important to
Who
have
was
these
it? Someone I'm
conversations.
trying to think. Who
You
was
can't
that?
just excuse
I gotta
certain
think who
behavior.
said it.
No one's excusing any behavior.
Okay.
All I'm saying is this music is not made for us, and that's what it is.
You can't